Hi. First of all, what is Momen? Momen is a no-code full-stack application development platform. We support web, and we are just about to support mobile apps for iOS. So we help non-technical founders to build and scale their MVP with two ways of working. One is this one you're seeing here, which is a full stack app completely built and deployed on Moment. This is actually our own website. You can build things that are fairly sophisticated like this. And you can also see that all that dynamic stuff is also built in here. The other way you can use Moment is as a headless backend, or we call them BaaS, backend as a service. And in that case, you will be able to pair a front end built in code. This is built in React by an AI to a backend that's built in Moment. So this backend is actually built by an agent. We'll explain that further, but first of all, let's see what the AI built. So you can upload an image, let's say a tree, like this, and we're going to tell AI that you know remove the entire tree, the one with the head chopped off. And we don't know what the tree type is. We know the address. I'm gonna do something like Mountain View CA. That's where I live. That's my contact info. And once I click here, we should be able to see data appearing. So that is a table. And once we click, there should be a new line. That's my submission. And this will actually trigger this workflow. This app, we call them action flow via, well, I think this time it's not using the trigger, but I think it's doing that from the front end. But this will be running. And one of the nodes in here is running an agent called tree removal estimate agent. And that is built in here. And then if we look at the agent, this is the one that's still in progress. It will, given a bunch of information, tell us the estimated cost and reasoning for that estimation. So it takes a bit of time. I think it's still in progress. But if we come back here, if you wait around for a little bit, you will see the result. And also, when that is done, we'll delete the old one. You will see a new one. Yeah, that's a new one. 2,350, 2,350. And the reason I got an email is there's an API integration in here for a resend, and that API integration is triggered by this node over here. Once the AI is done processing, it will send me a bunch of stuff. Okay, so this time we're trying to push this thing called no code plugin. So what is it? So prior to this, Moment is only operatable by hand. You can create or modify all these things yourself, but you cannot get an AI, not an external AI such as Claude Code or Codex to help you do it. Now with this, that is now possible. So what it includes is a CLI. Unfortunately, we named MCP, but it is a CLI, and a bunch of skills. You will see, a bunch of them here. There's pre and post. That's because we are in the middle of a transition of a big refactor, so things will be different pre or after that refactor. Okay, so how do we make use of this? I had something that was running, and but we'll run the entire thing again. I'm gonna delete this. Okay. First of all, we need to install that plugin. So in order to do that, you need to go to plugin, add marketplace, and then you paste in the link to. Oops, sorry. the link to this Git repo. So paste that one in, use sync. That brings in the marketplace, and within the marketplace, you will be able to see Momen No Code as a plugin. So now we have the plugin installed, and next thing is we're going to create an account. Sorry, a project. I have already pre-created the project, so that is, you would do that by just clicking here, but I've already done it. It is this tree removal proposal thing, and as you can see, it is completely empty. There's no settings anywhere. So we will use this link to put it into the a pre-made prompt. Okay, and that we can now just paste it in. And I'm gonna say something like well, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let it run. I'm gonna use Sonnet 5 Medium. This is Claude Code. This works easily as well if you're using Codex or Cursor. So as we submit this, we're gonna take a look at what this says. It just basically recounts what the workflow that just saw, right? We're gonna have a tree removal service, and it has a front end that's built by code, not using Momen's native UI builder because the plugin does not yet support it. And the backend is going to be completely on Momen. And the flow is that you upload your picture, fill in some information, and an AI analyzes it, records the analysis, and sends out a notification email. And that's basically it. The email is, we're going to use the resend, and then it is, we have the key. The key is real. It's a free account, so it doesn't really matter if you actually use it. We gave it a, okay, here we go. It says it wants to log in because it didn't have, or maybe it expired. It didn't have a useful token, so you would log in with your account. And this one here is just the picture of that tree, so that if it wants to test, it sometimes does, it can. Okay, so it starts doing things, and we should be able to see it working while it's doing it. So it's just doing a bunch of stuff. It's reading a lot of MDs. These are the instruction files. And okay, so blank. Okay, figure out it's a blank project. It's going to read a bunch of files to understand how to build it. Third-party API for the resend HTTP call plus BaaS docs, right? And then you notice in here, we did not really give it the shape of the API. We just gave it the documentation for integrating that API. So that is one of the things that's nice. You can just send AI off to figure out how how that API looks like, and then AI is able to just take all that and put it into Momen so everything runs. Starting with data model. Okay, it's now creating intake table. Let's see how it's doing. Yeah, okay, now we have the intake table. We were just there to catch it. We don't yet have the ability for you to follow what the AI is doing. Like, that would be nice, but this is what we have right now. And it's doing probably something else. I don't know. It's hard to see. Image input. It's default model. Oh, okay. I think it's now trying to get an AI ready. Let's take a look. I think this is what it's going to do now. Yeah, it is just trying to get GPT 5.4. All right. Yeah, here we go. It's just created one. It picked a model that is capable of handling like images and text, and then is able to output structured stuff. And if we stay around in here, I think it will start configuring the inputs. And once that's done, I think here we go. The inputs are now here with all the trees and descriptions and all that. And then the prompt template, it should give rules on how to decide the pricing of that tree removal. Actually, no, it first did the structured output, but either way. Okay, let's see what it does for the prompt template. I think that should appear soonish. By the way, your browser window doesn't really have to be open when this thing is happening. The plugin itself is able to keep track of all the changes. What did it do? Oh, it's trying to figure out input arg map keys. Okay, I think we'll see that. Okay, here we go. That is exactly what's going on. You're an expert arborist and tree removal, and then there's some like carefully analyze a photo, blah blah blah, and it asks you to write okay, here we go, and those are the information, and now we have basically this entire tree removal estimator built. I think the next step for the AI naturally would be to build the action flow, or maybe it would actually build the API. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's now going to do the API. So this, I think before doing that, it's probably going to set up a secret, because the best practice is not to put those secrets in plain text everywhere. You have them in a centralized store, and don't know what the hell is going on. Maybe, yeah, let's see, run a command. It's reading a bunch of stuff. They failed one of them, and that's normal. AI fairly frequently will fail them, and then figure out that, I've made a mistake, and therefore it gets like nudged back into its path. One of the things I really don't like for, okay, yeah, you can see it's now trying to get some kind of project secret in. Yeah, it's trying to do that. And we should be able to see that it's figured out, I actually need to add some secret, to use a secret to store the key. And that is, I think, what it's going to do next. I'm going to stay in here. Where are we? Did it add it? Oh, here we go. Resend API key has some value. You should be able to see it. Well, you can't really see it. if you're editor, you can actually, if you're owner, you'll be able to see the thing. Everybody else can't see it. So that, yeah, you can't see it. Cancel. Okay, so now it's going to create, oh, here we go. It's already there. It's going to create the, import the API into Momen. And you notice here we have these immediate type checks. This one doesn't type check it, it's like an empty object. So the large language model will actually get notified with whatever errors that we currently notice. Okay, we now have the inputs, and it's now going to probably do the outputs. What is it running? It's running some command. Okay, so that is probably done. So the next thing it needs to do is to actually build the action flow, which does the heavy lifting of everything. Okay, here we go. We see the action flow being built. In the future, we can have more instructions within this so that things can be done in parallel. For example, we could have the moment we have the inputs or the database shape and the action flow inputs are declared and outputs declared, we can already start off with building the front end. There's no need to absolutely wait for the completion of the back end before you do the front end, but that's optimization. It will make things faster, but this is easier to reason with. Okay, here we see these inputs. Those will be the things that's sent in from the front end. So whenever you click here. Okay, we should be able to see more nodes. Probably with some kind of AI. So the agent running the actual agent here. Yep, run tree estimate AI, and then it will do the inputs. Okay, these inputs are now filled. The next step is either, I think, sending the email or updating the estimate, because you do want to see what you sent to the user. Yeah, save the estimate to the request. Yep. And it's going to fill out the things that needs to be updated and add in a filter. Because we don't want to update every single row. We want to update that particular one. Oh yeah, it does have the request ID here. So okay, we have updated the estimated cost. Maybe you should also update the AI reasoning too. Let's see. And yeah, it has updated status to estimated. Okay, so that is bound. Now next step. By the way, all these you can do it manually too. If you just clicked, you can use an in-app agent to help you bind those things. Okay, you can see that this filter has now been set. That's where we send the email out, and then these should be filled. Sonnet is actually a fairly slow model. This would have gone a lot quicker if we had something like Luna. GPT 5.6 Luna would be the best choice if you want to showcase this live, because that thing runs at 4 times the speed, almost 4 times the speed of Sonnet. Okay, you can see that here we have a secret bound to the bearer, as expected. And here is where these, yeah, evergreen tree removal, the tree removal estimate, and the HTML is probably going to be a bit more involved. And when this is done, it probably should then go to figure out the permissions, because that's an important part of your application building. Yeah, here we go. That's the HTML that's built out. Okay. The next step would be that's all done. Next step, maybe here, it's going to set the output. Oh, it's adding a trigger. So this is how it's doing it. All right. Okay, you can see here it's adding a database trigger. And it's doing that probably on insert. Okay, we have things being filled out now. Okay, everything's now filled out. So within this trigger, every time something is inserted, the ID of the request and all the photos and everything will be passed to this action flow, and then it will go through the AI. It will be persisted to the request. The result will be persisted to request, and then the email will be sent. And eventually, I think it's now going to do the output. Actually, maybe it's not going to do the output because the output doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's not going to do the output. It's now going to do the permissions. It is probably going to change the permissions on anonymous users. In Momen, you can change the permission of, you can have different roles, and different roles have their own set of permission rules. For example, in here, you have just logged in user and an anonymous user. Those are default. You can have more. Okay, you can see that that was just synchronized. Yeah, so AI just synchronized. So that means everything's deployed to the new backend has been deployed. I don't quite know. Okay, it has decided. I'm not quite sure what it did with regard to the permissions, but it has now started building the front end. That will take some time. And while it's building the front end, eventually will come up. We'll take a look at a couple of things built using the method that I just described. I think AI trip planner, that's one of it. Oh, that's actually built using Momen's full stack capability. There's another one, AI trip. Well, yeah, this is built using a Momen backend and using vibe coded front end. So if we log out and log in, let's take a look. We have things like, you can buy more credits. Can I? Can I not? I don't know. Top up. Yes. And this is Stripe's sandbox. So you can use the 4242 hack and get yourself 3 credits. Yep, 3 extra credits, goes from 2 to 5. And then you can start building things. Let's say if you want to go to, I don't know, summer fancy, Sydney. And I want to be there in 2 days for 3 days, and I have a lot of money to spend. I really want, I don't know, photography and nature. I know what's in Sydney. So I'll click craft my itinerary, and that actually runs something inside. I don't know what it did here. I think that's probably all right. I think this is the one. Nope, this is not the one. I forgot which one it is, but it's one of the projects. And if you wonder, this is your this is a Momen project. That's your project ID. How is this doing it? It keeps on checking. Essentially, that's a bad thing. Like, AI shouldn't really be doing it. What it should do is do a subscription. But again, when it comes, oh, here we go. Yeah, here is your Sydney trip. You can see there's a bit of a missing piece here. The reason is the generation of the trip's cover image is asynchronous. It's also triggered by a database trigger. So if we refresh now, you may have it. Yeah, now you have it. You can see that is now there. And you got your Sydney trip, different locations, different activities. And then also you can see here it says 4 a.m. It's because it's an AI bug. Because whenever we send data back, it's in UTC. So really, this AI should like do an actual conversion to the current time zone of Sydney. But okay, so that is that, and I think, yeah, so that's it. Okay, I think the vibe coded front end is now ready for the tree removal thing. So you can see they're not exactly the same, but they're very same. If you want to improve it, you can use super design. and then just copy some kind of, maybe I just use this. I'll do this entire thing and send it to Claude. It will test the front end and the back end. But we'll see. This is the thing, right? We can do the tests ourselves. So let's say, excuse me, that's our tree. And unfortunately, no longer have a Chrome to fill it for me. No constraints. It's top. Oh, yeah, this is because I installed a thing called Playwright MCP extension, so the AI can test what it has built on its own. But we're not going to look at it because it's kind of boring. Okay, I'm going to click that. Did it work? Did it not? I think I don't think it did work. So it did not work, but that's all right. Let's take a look at. I'm gonna close this guy. Let's take a look at what AI has done here, or what it will do here. Doing some things that it is writing some JavaScript. I'm sorry, it decided Chrome, this thing decided to do this on here. So I guess that's that. It has submitted something. Does it work? I don't know, but let's take a look at the project's backend. Is there a new proposal? Yeah, that's the one. That's just the Jane Smith thing here. $1,800. $1,800. If we check the AI, does it have a run record? It has two. Maybe there's two tests, but the last one should be $1,800. So let's take a look. $1,800. That's the one. And then if we look at my email, this was the old one. And do we have a new one? Yeah, we had a new one. This is the newest one. And I don't know how it was so consistent with its tree removal aesthetic, but it's always green. So this is what's being sent to me. Okay, so that is all. Thank you very much. And I think Claude would have concluded that it has stopped. And I've sent in some styling things, so if it does pick it up, it will eventually do the styling stuff as well. Yeah, it's now starting to the UI. So that's actually not the core of this, the purpose of this video is about like how to use Momen to build a visual backend that you can understand even as a non-technical founder, and connect that to a front end. Thank you very much.